Hi, this is Ashley Huddleston, and I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about my data analysis that I did for my Capstone assessment project for my student teaching placement at Foothills Elementary School, first grade. I chose to do a lesson or unit out of the Envision Math for first grade, Unit 10, which is all about counting numbers and finding patterns in hundreds charts. So my students were basically required to write out their numbers in the beginning stages of expanded form, skip count by 2s, 5s, and 10s, and look for patterns that corresponded with that skip counting on a hundreds chart. So basically I analyzed my data. Each child had to do a formative work assessment each day, but before that I did a pre-test and a post-test. Well, the post-test was after. But for my pre-test, I took some of the worksheets that came from the Envision Math, and I basically just kind of edited to fit the Common Core standards, because as you know, Envision Math is modeled after the Tennessee State standards. So I kind of tweaked that a little bit and gave them that assessment on Monday, and then on Tuesday we started our unit. And basically I just kind of made daily modifications to that. And then as I wrote my assessment paper, I found it really helpful to use the results from my pre-test, because it really showed me which students kind of grasp certain subjects, which content areas I might have to spend a little bit more time on, and just overall kind of like things to look for while I'm doing my instruction. And also it helped me to modify some of my things and add or take away more examples depending on student mastery of content. So basically as I went through, I kind of was keeping track too of the daily formative assessments to kind of make sure they were staying on track. And for the most part, most of my students mastered the content for each day. And then all of my students, with the exception of some who scored the same on their pre and post test, made gains. Unfortunately, I had a couple students who went down, but just by a question or two. And I'm not really sure as to why that is, but I believe that it might have something to do with maybe on their pretest they might have just guessed, or it might have just been a focus issue. But other than that, all of my students did exceptionally well, especially on the daily assessments. They really did a wonderful job, and I don't think I had any students miss more than just a few, and all of them fell within that mastery category. Overall, this project has really helped me to kind of see into the eyes of a real teacher and kind of see what they go through on a day-to-day, week-to-week, unit-to-unit basis with taking their pre-assessment test, taking that information and transforming it into instruction and that matches those results. And then, as a student teacher or a teacher, it's really great to see your students make gains, but if they don't, then you can go back and look at those numbers and you can kind of see where they fell off, or where they kind of picked back up. So overall, this project has really helped me to understand what I'm going to be facing as a real teacher. So overall, it was really great, and I'm very fortunate for the experience.